The Communist Party of China is holding Party Congress every 5 years since 1980s. It is at the Party Congress where the top leaders assess their performance over the past 5 years, setting out future goals, and more importantly, determine the composition of the party's top decision-making body, the Politburo and Politburo Standing Committee. But this year's Party Congress is significant in that it comes at profound change in China's modern history. The country is still in a long process of transforming its low-end manufacturing and investment-led economic model into a more sustainable one, a model that is based on higher valued manufacturing, service sector, and domestic consumption. But at the same time, the country continues to face many challenges originate from the previous economic model. Challenges ranges from widening social and regional disparities to environmental degradation. In the meantime, the country just began to expand its economic and military influence from its near periphery to the wider global theater, and the country is embracing new challenges and opportunities through that process. In this context, we also see substantial change of the Communist Party's elite structure and its role in the country. Over the past 5 years, we see sweeping push by the Communist Party to reorganize and to rectify itself, and more prominently, we see the rise of Chinese President Xi Jinping as the country's most powerful leader since the days of Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. The upcoming Party Congress will reveal how those themes play out in the coming years and how the party positioned itself at the time of the profound change facing the country. In many ways, where China stands now is very different from where it was 5 years ago, not to mention 30 years ago when Deng Xiaoping introduced the collective leadership model. All these new socio-economic challenges and changes in the outside world have put new requirements for the Chinese leadership, demanding new set of capabilities and responsibilities. Deng's model of collective leadership is based on a logic to ensure internal political balance at top level and to prevent the return of chaotic period of late Mao's era. But this model has proven increasingly difficult to deal with all the fast-changing challenges and changes China is facing today. Over the past 5 years, the power structure of the Communist Party has largely assembled around the President Xi Jinping. But we probably will not see Xi Jinping or the Communist Party to completely dismantle the collective leadership model, not to say the return of Mao-style leadership. A key issue to look at for this Party Congress is to what extent Chinese President Xi Jinping will consolidate his political power. Half of the Politburo and Politburo Standing Committee member will set to retire during the Party Congress, allowing Xi Jinping to appoint his trust associate at the top party rank. The Party Congress will also deliver a work report that covers all the major issues of China, from economic reform to the foreign policy direction. The work paper will serve a key document for us to assess the country's socio-economic and diplomatic trajectory for the coming years and decades. Over the past 70 years, the Communist Party has come through many difficult times, from the Cultural Revolution, the Tiananmen Square, to the fate of communist movement in the wider world. Relatively speaking, the Communist Party have demonstrated high degree of resilience to come through those hardships. But the party faced consistent challenges to keep adapting and innovating itself and proving itself as a capable force of leading the country's development path. And this is particularly true when the country is facing an economic slowdown. To many Chinese nationals, the US reshaping its global strategies, the EU's fragmentation, and ongoing crisis in the Middle East had reinforced a sense of national coherence and pride. And apparently, the Communist Party is trying to harnessing that nationalist sentiment and position itself as a defender to the national interest and leading force to the country's revival. The strategy has created a higher degree of social consensus and allowed the Communist Party to ensure its continued monopoly of power. But that strategy can also be challenging, especially given the country's many unsettled territorial disputes with neighboring countries and Beijing's stated goal of national unification.